Libra, this is your week ahead astrology forecast by Astrology Motivation from Born Without Boundaries. In this video, every single week, we review the major planetary aspects and transits and how they relate to your natal sun and what that means for your day-to-day. We'll review all the events from June 20th to 26th in this video. I got my notes all written down for you. We're going to start out really broad with the things that everybody should be aware of, and then I will focus it down into Libra specific information, and then I'll break things down into the decans, and a decan is a group of 10 degrees, and there's 3 of those in every zodiac sign, which is every zodiac sign is a total of 30 degrees. You do not need to know exactly where your natal sun is located, which degree it's located on in the sign of Libra. All you need to know is your birth date, because I will be estimating, sort of correlating birth dates to the different degrees. Most accurate, though, is to go grab yourself a natal chart. You'll have so much fun with it, and it's completely free. You can get them on so many different websites. I don't endorse any specific here, but they're just so easy to use. So all you need is your birth date, your birth time, and your birth location, most of which you could find on your birth certificate, and then have at it and have fun. Anyway, come on along with me. As long as you have your birth date, you'll be able to enjoy this, and feel free to leave your comments below, because I would love to know. So Libra, what's the big stuff that's happening between June 20th and 26th? Well, the big stuff is there's one major transit, and that is the sun. On the 21st, the sun is going to transit from Gemini into Cancer. That's right. Cancer season begins this year on the 21st. Sometimes it begins on the 22nd. There's all different, that's why I say it's kind of an estimate. But ultimately is on the 21st this year that the sun slides into Cancer. And what does that mean? Well, sun in Cancer, it's just wonderful that it's actually summertime, because it's access. It really, the warmth of the sun in Cancer comes from the home. It comes from being around people that you love and who are family, whether that's blood relatives or not. It doesn't matter. Being home, whoever you consider family, being in their environment and general vicinity. This is it, guys. That's Cancer season. Nurturing, loving, and being near and enjoying the company of the people that are closest to you. This is a very romantic energy. It's a very sympathetic and empathetic energy. It's a very psychic energy, and it's a very emotional energy. So it is really a wonderful time, especially if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, to experience the summertime, because we usually have more of an opportunity to be closer to family and enjoy them when it's Cancer season, when it's June to July. Now, we also have major aspects, and an aspect is a relationship between two planets defined by the angle that they are forming to each other. So everything is geometry in astrology. That's what it's all based on. So if you could think in the sky where one planet is related to another, they form angles to each other. If you put them on a hypothetical zodiac wheel, they would form angles to each other, and these angles are what is called an aspect. And an aspect tells us how things are going to be impacting you, because I am analyzing the aspects to your natal sun depending on where your natal sun is located in the sign of Libra. But anyway, the general aspects right now are the sun, as it moves into Cancer all week long, is going to be in a grand trine with Saturn and the South Node. This means really finding harmony and peace when it comes to what you are good at, and finding a practical application for it and bringing it out and really shining for it. This is really productive energy. We also have this really sexy conjunction between Venus and Mars that started last week. Well, they're even tighter now, and it's just kind of combustible when it comes to sexuality and sensuality. And considering this is all happening in Leo, whoa, it's a romantic time. It's definitely romantic. Even if you're not looking for anything, you might find it, or it might find you, just to let you know. We also have this really helpful Jupiter sextile Saturn, really productive, really fantastic energy. This is, I can get anything done. I know some people are like, oh, Jupiter is expanse and Saturn is restriction. But this is this isn't a square. This isn't an opposition. This is a sextile, and sextile is all about what is the best case scenario? How do these two work productively together? And how do they? Well, then you get the discipline side of Saturn, and you get the open to infinite possibility side of Jupiter. And this is a beautiful aspect in any chart. These kind of people can get anything done. And I can tell you, it's a real blessing for getting even the most difficult things done. I love this aspect. We also have a beautiful aspect between Chiron and the Venus-Mars conjunction, and that's a trine. And trines are all about healing and peace and chill, man. So Chiron is all about the hard lessons in life, learning the hard way. And then we have this conjunction between Venus and Mars and healing. By learning the hard way, what can we now experience or allow into our lives in our romantic space? This can be even healing in difficult situations, in difficult relationships, actually being able to talk to each other again, speak to each other again. And since Uranus is also square to this Venus-Mars conjunction, this is about being able to change dynamically and wanting to be authentically ourselves and rebel against any conformity when it comes. So finding peace from that kind of trauma, this is beautiful and healing energy, and I think it's just a blessing from above. We also have a Mercury that is square to Neptune, which can put our minds in a little bit of a kerfuffle. Sun square Neptune as well. Once again, kind of a kerfuffle. What does that mean? Kind of foggy. Our daydreams are getting in our way. But they can also lead us to something very creative. So as long as we have energy or a place to put those distractions and use them to inspire new things, we can actually use this in a productive way too. So let's get into the Libra specific dynamics that you really guys need to know. So what's happening in Libra? Well, it's between the 25th and the 26th of this week that the moon will be in Libra, actually up through the 27th, but we end at the 26th in this week. So 25th, 26th, the moon is in Libra. So the moon will be conjuncting the first and second decans, or basically any time between most of you. So Libra, this would be September Libras all the way through like October 10th. The moon will eventually conjunct your sun. This is like a renewal of emotion. It's like your own personal, not really, but it's like your own personal new moon. When the moon conjuncts your sun over those 2 days, there is a sense of opening yourself up and being relieved of emotional burdens and being able to make space and welcome new dynamics into your life. It's also a great time to manifest. If you love to manifest and pray, get it on. Get your moon magic on the 25th and 26th, Libra. But that's it. Aside from that, Libra is generally there's not much happening in it right now. It doesn't mean something isn't impacting your natal suns. That's not what I'm saying. Venus is your ruling dignitary, so you should always know where she is and what's happening to her. And since big stuff is happening to her, this is a big week for all you guys. We have the conjunction with Mars, the trine with Chiron, the square to Uranus, and the semi-square to the sun. Holy shit. That's a lot that's going on with little Miss Venus. And that could be a lot of dynamic change and revolution when it comes to who you are and how you express your sensuality and your sexuality and your relationships and who you're attracted to, who you want to be with. This is a big switcho-change-o that could in some ways frustrate what you've known about yourself or what people expect of you, but so what? Let's move into the decans, shall we? Because I'm sure you're curious about what's happening, impacting you in particular. So if your natal sun is located somewhere between 0 and 9 degrees Libra, you are Libra 1 because your natal sun is in the first decan of Libra. This usually correlates to September Libras. So I would say anywhere from the 22nd through the 30th or up to the 1st of October, in and around there. Definitely Virgo cusps. You guys are Libra 1. Your natal suns are square to the sun all week. And that could cause a little bit of confusion when it comes to your ego, egotistical clashes, or just a sense of self-consciousness in general could just challenge you a little bit this week, or people challenging who you are, like telling you who you are, thinking they have a right to, or even you in some ways internally feeling like, am I who I thought I was? All of those things, like sometimes self-doubt can be happy. I mean, not happy, but healthy. If you say, am I really, it's almost like a check-in point. Is your ego really telling the truth of your soul? We also have this week a semi-square to the Venus-Mars conjunction. So there could be some frustration and agitation when it comes to your sex life or your romantic life. We have Virgo cusps. You guys are in direct opposition to Neptune, so just watch out, because this whole year people could be trying to sell you tonic water and you'd believe it. There's just a sense of extra vulnerability to get lost in daydreams or believe something too much. But that's long term. I'm sure you've been dealing with it for a while. We also have a trine to Pluto, which is saying that there is a beautiful wings or expanding butterfly moment harmonizing with dynamic change and your spiritual self and faith in reconstruction of who you are. And then we have this quincunx to Jupiter on one side and Saturn on the other. There is a... No, that's not happening to both of them, are they? Yeah, it is. So Jupiter on one side, Saturn on the other. What does that mean? Well, it just means, I think it means growth, because there is that beautiful sextile between them two, but there's sort of frustrating. It could be frustration that guides you to get out of your comfort zone and make change and expand, especially when it comes to your career opportunities or what you've done traditionally. Maybe even authority figures in your life, rules, laws, and regulations could be kind of frustrating, but the frustration will still lead to opportunity, I promise you. So Libra 2s, your natal suns are between 10 and 19 degrees Libra. Your birthdays generally are somewhere between October 1st, October 2nd, and the 10th, 11th, in and around there, Libra 2s. We have a sextile to this Venus conjunct Mars. That is so sexy. It is really hot. It's really passionate. It's really romantic. If you're single, you ain't gonna be single at least this week. And if you are in a relationship, wow, this is going to be a beautiful week for you guys. This could actually fix problems and heal some stuff too. I love this energy for you. You also have a trine to Mercury through the 22nd. So in the beginning of this week, trine to Mercury, which means communication will be eloquent. You'll be bright. You'll be perceptive. What a great time to like communicate and harmonize with your significant other. Sexy talk. I just love it. This is great. Also, whenever your sun is trying to Mercury, it's a wonderful time to sign contracts. It's a wonderful time to do interviews, take tests, give presentations, present yourself in any way, share your creativity express yourself through words or writing. It's just a great time for it. Your brain will be right there on it. Nice. And then we have long term, especially if you are, say, October 9th and 10th, this opposition between your natal sun and Chiron, which means you are definitely being challenged and being frustrated and trying to find a place for yourself or the trauma that you've been through and figure out what it's going to create inside of you and who it's going to help you become and how you can help yourself and others. It is really kind of expanding your sense of self because you've been through some shit. Libra 3s. So Libra 3s, if your natal sun is between 20 and 29 degrees Libra, You are Libra 3s. This usually correlates to, say, the 11th through the 21st of October. So definitely Scorpio cuspers. You guys, your natal sun from the 22nd on is trine to Mercury, especially then if you're born around like the 11th, 12th. You're going to feel this earlier than others, right? Because you're like right on the cusp between the two decans. So this is really bright, really wonderful energy. It's going to be snappy and precise, and your brain is going to be on. Once again, just like for Libra 2s, this is a great time to have important conversations, talk to people, call people, get information, share yourself verbally, written form, orally, take tests. Your mind is on it. Your brain is with it. This is just a great time for communication. We also have this week, if you are at the Scorpio cusp, only if you are at the Scorpio cusp, a trine to the sun. Your natal suns are going to be trine to the current sun, which means harmony in the sense of self. This could also be a beautiful romantic time, really liking to show yourself, feeling really confident in who you are. This is really beautiful energy for you guys. All of you guys, especially the 11th, 12th, not all of you guys, but if you are, I'm sorry, not all of you guys, because Chiron is at 19 degrees Aries. So you guys, 11th, 12th are in direct opposition. You guys are definitely starting to feel this opposition, even though it's not officially in the third decan of Aries yet. It doesn't matter. It's right there. It's at 19 degrees Aries. So you guys are already feeling this opposition, which means this is a transcendent healing time for you, where you will be driven to recreate and restructure who you are based on the tough lessons that you've survived. Cusps, Scorpio cusps. Libra, are you ready? Because you're about to get that south node. Oh, yes, you are. It's at 1 degree Scorpio. So if you're at the cusp, you are already conjunct to that north node, the south node, and in opposition to the north node. So there's a sense of getting really cozy and comfortable, and finding that other people are really comfortable with you too, because you don't push them to force them to get outside of their comfort zone. You kind of inspire them to understand who they are and what their current gifts and talents are. And I think that that's what you're exploring too. Absolutely. This is just the cuspers though. And then we have a long-term square to Pluto, which is there's change going on. There's definitely dynamic change, irreversible change. That's very frustrating, and it's going to put you to the test. And I'm telling you, you're going to come out of it a different person, and it's going to be beautiful. But it's probably going to be a motherfucker while it happens. Just an FYI. And then that's over for the next couple of years, because Pluto moves so slow. It's just going to be that way. It's just a dynamic time period in your life where there's going to be a lot of bumps in the road as you change, but it's going to teach you and just bring you to the higher state of yourself. And then we have this quincunx to Neptune, which can be very frustrating. It means that you could sort of decide something based on imagination instead of reality. So just check your work, right? Or have somebody else check it, and leave your imagination to your creative endeavors. That's a really healthy way to use this energy. Let me know how this energy is impacting you guys, especially the stuff that's happening this week. I love you, and I hope you subscribe to the channel so that we can grow over here. We've reached 10,000 subscribers. I'm so grateful. Thank you. And come on over to Born Without Boundaries for your week ahead tarot card reading. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.